Welcome to the Mathology.ca Kindergarten Sneak Peek. When we first started doing research for Mathology.ca, our online planning tool, we took a look at the math teaching journey. We did a lot of research and we learned, much like you already know, that this journey can be a time-consuming multi-step process that includes long-range planning, short-term planning, teaching and preparing to teach, assessing, reporting, as well as professional learning. So we developed Mathology.ca in order to help support that journey. So Mathology.ca Kindergarten is a simple online tool for educators that contains rich math lessons and pedagogical supports powered by 5 core functionalities: search, plan, teach, assess and track, and professional learning, all aligned to the Ontario Kindergarten curriculum and our Pearson Canada learning progression. It contains rich kindergarten math lessons and pedagogical supports. And as you can see across the bottom, it also supports a large number of the criteria from your submission. We thought we'd take you for a quick peek into Mathology.ca Kindergarten. Understand that it is under development this summer, so let's take a very quick look at what's under the hood with Mathology.ca Kindergarten. When we first did our research with teachers around what they would be looking for online support for kindergarten, a lot of teachers told us that they are constantly searching for curriculum-aligned, easy to use, great for their students, lessons and activities that support kindergarten, and they found that that's hard to do. They're spending a lot of time searching and they weren't quite sure that the activities and lessons that they were finding were appropriate. So we built Mathology.ca with these teachers in mind. It contains a rich resource of lessons, activities, and it has our little books and big books inside as well. So the first screen I'm showing you today is the search screen. This is where you search for these great activities and lessons. Couple of ways that you can search. The first one is search by curriculum. So when I click on the search by curriculum button, you'll see the kindergarten curriculum in here. You'll see the strands above, and just below that are the overall expectations. So when I click on one of the overall expectations, you'll see these specific expectations pop up. When we have this site completed, when I click on this icon here, search, a lesson or 2 lessons or 3 that support this expectation will pop up, and the teachers can then search by curriculum. The other way that you can search is by our Pearson Canada learning progression. It's our trajectory that we've developed that helps teachers know where students are and next steps to use to support them in their growth. And so if we do search by progression, you'll see that the basis for our Pearson Canada learning progression, the big ideas, such as numbers tell us how many and how much, and just below that, you can see that our learning progression comes to life, and the indicators here will let you know where your students are, and it also lets you search for lessons and activities that support that indicator. So it's another great way of searching by our Pearson Canada learning progression. The last way to search is by keyword. So you can type in any keyword that supports math, and a lesson will then come up as well. I'm going to take you on a very quick tour of 2 lessons that we have built into this demo. One is around an activity from our activity kit, and one is around one of our math little books. So I'm going to look at Subtizing to 5, which is pinned here. And you'll see that we're taking to a lesson in Mathology.ca that has 5 pieces to it: about, details, assessment, and related resources, as well as ideas for planning and analytics, and professional learning videos. I'm going to walk you quite quickly through these today. And so in the about part of this lesson, you'll see what the lesson is about, some background information to support the teacher, the focus for this lesson, the curriculum, as well as exactly where you are on our Pearson Canada learning progression, or our trajectory around the big ideas. That is about. Once you get into details, you will have noticed in your binder we have submitted our activity cards. There's a teacher card and there's student cards. They're laminated, quite colorful. This is the teacher card come to life. This is your lesson. And so you'll see the strand, the materials you need, and as well as the line masters that might work best with this lesson. And they're linked here directly in PDF and in Word, so you can modify that. This is the lesson, simple 3-part lesson. Some great probing questions to understand and unpack what your students are thinking. And here are the projectable student cards, great for front of class. I'm going to take you for a quick walk through those. First of all, this is the card that you have in your submission. This is the teacher card. And on the front, you'll see the focus for this lesson, what the student card looks like, the materials that you need, as well as the big idea from the curriculum, our 3-part lesson, as well as those probing questions. On the back of this card, you'll see helping students to progress, what you might see here and next steps. And this is the fantastic on-the-fly observational assessment tool that helps teachers understand what students are thinking, where they are on that learning progression in that activity, and how to help them with their next steps. And the last piece I'm going to show you that's great for projection as well is that student card. You'll see here that it's highly colorful, great for K, and you can see the other piece that's important here is that you can actually print these cards off should you want to. That is the details part of the lesson. Under assessment, we just took a look at the back of that card and knowing where your students are with an activity and how to progress. And so this is a chance for you to see what that might look like in an online version. Say you have an iPad and you're circulating in the class and you want to see where your students are with that activity and place them in that spot. And so Jeff, we will drag and drop him into that first box, student guesses instead of subitizing. Rashad is here, student counts instead of subitizing. The power of this online piece is that your next steps are right here at point of use. And so if Jeff is guessing instead of subitizing, what can I do in the moment to support him? If I click on next steps, your in the moment support is right there. The same with Rashad. So Rashad is counting instead of subitizing. What support can I bring him? So under next steps, here's that in the moment support. So this feature really helps you know where your students are, help move them along that learning progression, and personalize their learning. Related resources. This is where you're going to see some support around possible misconceptions that students might have and the support that's there for that, as well as after the lesson. So next steps in class, what you can do, and this is a short mini lesson that will help you with that, also printable, and next steps at home. So some ideas to share with the parents at home. You can develop a word wall, and you can also see that there are related lessons here, should you want to try them as well. The next piece I'm going to share with you is planning. So if I go up here to the plan and I click on it, Mathology.ca is really here to help teachers plan, and we have a variety of ways that you can do that. I'm going to go into the most recent plan. This is one that teacher has built. You can create your own, and you'll see that you have all the lesson support that's in Mathology.ca. You can drag and drop these over into your plan. You can write a note about them and go directly there. The other great piece about the kindergarten plan is that you can add a non-Mathology lesson in here. And you can see that we've included the improvement learning cycle so that you have access to that plan as well. The other piece that we will be building into Mathology.ca this summer is some already pre-made plans that help you get started at the beginning of that school year. And I'm going to take you back home. So that was a quick walk through an activity. Let's take a look at a math little book. So you have 16 math little books inside Mathology.ca. We're looking at Animals Hide, for instance. And with Animals Hide lesson, you'll see that there's an about. It looks a lot like the activity card lesson, about the book, the reading level, as well as the math focus, where you are in the curriculum, Again, where you are with those big ideas from the learning progression, which is really helpful. The details. This is where you get access to a wordless text that's projectable at front of the class, great for helping students to predict. And you also have a link to the ebook that comes with Mathology.ca with animals hide. So let's go there. And we'll go to read and listen. And here is where you have access to a read aloud version of Animals Can Hide. Let's take a quick peek.
Some animals hide. They are hard to see, just like me. What?
Each one of the Math Little Books has a read aloud version that you can access within Mathology.ca. The last piece I wanted to share with you with the Math Little Books is the professional learning section. You saw that in the activities, and you're also seeing it here on the right-hand side for the Math Little Books. Inside, we've created short videos that help support teachers in the moment with how to do the lesson. And we also have some great learning connection videos, which we see here. The learning connection videos, we're looking at helping educators unpack the concepts that support curriculum big ideas, such as numbers tell us how many and how much. So let's take a quick look at the video that we have here in professional learning.
What do you notice? What do you wonder? How many dogs do you see? In this video, we'll explore the learning pathway for the big idea, numbers tell us how many and how much, outlined in Pearson's learning progression. Several Mathology resources, such as this Kindergarten Little Book, provide opportunities for students to count and subitize. One important concept in this big idea is applying the principles of counting. Initially, when students learn to count, they touch or tag each item one at a time. In this Kindergarten Little Book, students learn to count sets to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
That's a really quick sneak peek at our professional learning videos that are in Mathology.ca. The last piece I'm going to share with you today with the Math Little Books would be related resources. With related resources, you'll see that there's some tips around after reading, as well as direct links to all the line masters that support the Math Little Books that are also found in your teacher's guide. And at the bottom are related lessons. So these are our Math Little Books that are on grade that would also help support students and give them lots of choice around what they read and what they learn. So that is a really quick overview of Mathology.ca. There's so much more to see, and you'll see that we've included in your binder some access codes that give you a chance to take a longer look at Mathology.ca, understanding that it is not quite finished yet. But if you want to take a look at Mathology.ca in its completion, we actually have completed grade 1, and we've included in your resource package as well some access codes to our grade 1 Mathology.ca, so you can see what it looks like in action. So that is our quick overview of Mathology.ca today. We really appreciate your time, and have a great summer.